Hello everyone, and welcome to this presentation on the Church Renewal Plan. This presentation was originally given live at the St. Mark's Anglican Church AGM held on March 24th of 2013 and is being reproduced and made available to you from the St. Mark's website for your information so that you can become informed about this renewal plan and have your say as to whether or not we move on a motion which will be presented at the end of this video. This renewal plan has been put together by the Building Committee of St. Mark's Anglican Church with the following members. The chair is Norman Matthews, the co-chair John Tucker, that's me. The secretary is Gary Jeffrey, Jack Keynes, Wayne Barrington, Tolson Barrington, Todd Janes, Max Batten, Eric White, and Thomas Shea round out the building committee. We're pleased to announce the committee achievements of the building committee in particular in 2012-2013. And in particular, we have successfully constructed the new nursery with the window into the church area, which many people have seen and has been very active. We have constructed and relocated the archive area to a new area, which is behind the nursery. We've painted much of the hall area and other areas and performed a great deal of general maintenance. As well, we have prepared this proposed church renewal plan, which I'm presenting here to you now. So before we get into the details of the actual church renewal plan, you might ask yourself, why are we going to even put together and present a church renewal plan to you? The truth is, portions of the building structure, in particular the administration area, are quite severely run down and need to be replaced. We have relocated the priests and our administrator Tara into another space, and I'm afraid that the current office area has dampness and mold present. The windows were deteriorated beyond repair and needed replacing. The roof also needed replacing, and the structure itself was not suitable for repair. The portables themselves, where the daycare is currently situated, are beyond their design life. This portion of the structure is rapidly deteriorating and is indeed in desperate need of replacement as well. The parish hall, sacristy, and choir room are inadequate for many of their functions to accommodate the numbers that would like to be involved. And we also have functions such as the dinner, the fall fair, and the CLB, where we could use more space as well. Indeed, the electrical system, which runs throughout the building, is also outdated and loaded to maximum capacity, and simple tasks such as adding another circuit to light the new sign out in front of the church turn into major tasks when we have this kind of situation. Alright, so here we have an overhead plan of our existing building. This is what we have right now, and down in this area down here that I'm pointing to with my mouse is the church area. In general, what we have is we have the office areas. This is the space that is currently being condemned, so really I should actually delete this. Also, we have the Sunday school area, which is the portable area that I referred to in the last slide. The main hall is the where you would come in through the main entrance and then enter the church. You would hang your coats up around here and here. This is the portion that's highlighted in green, and then we have the kitchen, choir room, and other meeting spaces over here on the right, which is highlighted in yellow. The philosophy of the overall renewal project was considered to try to make it easy to implement. So as an option, we wish to be able to renew the church in phases should that need arise. We have architecturally prepared drawings, which I'm going to present to you shortly. As well, the design that the architect has prepared is structured to permit phased construction approach, such as mentioned in the first point, and we have, the building committee has prioritized the phases, looking at those situations which require immediate attention, such as the administration area. The building committee met with 3 different architectural firms and selected and recommended to Vestry to engage EXP Architects as the architectural firm that would work on this project. Following that, we met with EXP and discussed the preparation of something called a functional program. Functional program is a document that the architectural firm requires to be able to proceed, and basically it lists all of the functional spaces that are used in the building at the end of the exercise, as well as giving a whole bunch of details. So the building committee created a list of all functional spaces that are currently in this building. As well, we considered additional spaces that we might need, and we created a form based on our consultation with the XP architects, which included a whole bunch of details, some of which include the use of each space, the number of occupants that each space would be required to be able to have in it, as well as any required space adjacencies. As an example, you might want the washrooms close to a particular room. The compiled list of completed forms constituted the functional programs for St. Mark's Anglican Church, and that is what we used to create the plan. This is an example of just a portion of one of the forms for one of the rooms, of the spaces in the functional program. In this case, the main hall, and we list the use, the number of occupants, the ceiling height, required space adjacencies, windows, and so on and so forth. This is what we filled out for each room or space to provide the final functional program to the architectural firm. Things that we had to take into consideration when coming up with the functional program, and indeed in motivating us to actually prepare this renewal plan, are details such as what I have here. And what we have is a bit of a then and now type of an analysis. So we're looking at how St. Mark's has grown. In 1977, St. Mark's had one full-time clergy member. Now we have 2 full-time clergy and 2 non-stipendary clergy. In 1990, when the CLB began, there were 12 members enrolled in the CLB at St. Mark's Church. Now, our CLB has over 40 members. In 1990, there were 12 parish groups. Now, at St. Mark's, there are over 40 parish groups and ministries. In 1993, the annual budget for St. Mark's Anglican Church was $154,836. Today, our budget is $356,293. In 1979, there were 150 identifiable givers at St. Mark's Anglican Church, and today we have 413 identifiable givers at the church. In 2001, we had 13 contributors using e-giving, and now we have 147 contributors using e-giving. Clearly, St. Mark's has grown in size and scope, and it's time to expand and adjust our church area to accommodate this growth. With the church renewal in mind, what I'd like to show you now is an overhead view, an aerial view of the existing St. Mark's Anglican Church, with the administrative area shown here that I'm pointing to with my mouse, and the portables as shown. And what we propose to change this plan to would basically to include or to take in these dead spaces. We actually have alleyways in our current footprint, and our footprint is not square, so we have the capacity to actually utilize this space much more effectively. The architectural firm produced a very nice perspective drawing of what our church will look like. Please note the existing church structure here. This will remain unchanged. What's going to be changed is this new area out here. Please note that we have one portion of the ceiling which is elevated, and this will be a portion of our hall where we'll be able to put a stage and have a band playing, and we're going to be able to look at it. Let's look at the specifics of the plan. This is the overview of the church, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly show you. We have taken in the dead space in our current layout, so we don't have these alleyways anymore. We do have the existing church space down here. We have our nursery space over here, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom in on different portions of the new renewal space and show you exactly how that works. What I'll focus on first is this area here, which is the entrance, narthex, hospitality, and meeting room. So what we have is the entryway into the church, which is right here. We then will have a hospitality area, which will be to the immediate left. Note that we have a 3D perspective drawing right here of what that will look like from the entry area. There's also an overview of up here in the top right hand corner. So this is where we come in currently underneath the canopy and in through the building, and then you can turn to your left. So we go up here, and this would be the hospitality area. The foyer hall is right here, and we have a skylight up in the center, centered on the doors, where the intention of where it will ultimately be. And this is the space. These would be our 3 entry points into the church area, and they will remain relatively unchanged. The next area that I would like to point out to you is the administrative area up here in the top right hand corner, top left hand corner. Here we have a perspective view of the entry area. There's the hospitality space right there, which is shown just barely in this perspective view, and then you would enter into this administrative area right there. So as you go into the hospitality area, we have a reception space with a countertop right there, and that is where people would be received. The administrator office is right here, and she'll be able to look out and see people waiting at the reception area through a window. As well, there's a corridor which leads up to the rector's office, the associate's office, and a spare office. We have a quiet room for the occasion when people need to come in and meet with the priest and need to have a quiet room to have some solitude and be able to reflect on some items. For the administrative area, we need a photocopy room. As well, we have a little kitchenette area where the people who occupy the church and work during the regular week will be able to sit down and eat their lunch. In addition, we have a meeting space right here, which is just to the right of the hospitality area, and is actually entered into from the foyer hall. The next space that I'm going to show you will include the main hall, the washroom spaces, as well as the Sunday school area and the choir room. So here we have an overview of the hall space, showing tables as they would possibly be laid out. The capacity of the hall will end up being about 225 people, plus we have the ability to have some spillover into the foyer hall. This will be a significant improvement over our current space. As well, I show a perspective viewing of the choir room. So this is the main hall space. After our meeting on Sunday past with the congregation, we were all in pretty much agreement that we're going to work to have these pillars removed so that basically it'll be a completely open space. Recall, please, that the ceiling was higher in this portion, so we can put a portable stage here for people to give presentations from, or to have a band play during some of our events. We have a storage space area here which can be used for the chairs and the tables and the stage that would be used in the main hall. We have our washrooms, which can be accessed by going down this hallway or coming down this hallway and entering into either the male or the female washrooms. All of these spaces will be fully barrier free, which means that people will be able to access them if they're in wheelchairs and what have you. We have 2 Sunday school rooms, which are currently detailed right here, and our choir room, which will be right here, which will be nice and rectangular in shape and a better layout and larger than our existing space for the choir room. The final space I have to show you is the kitchen area, as well as the sacristy space. The kitchen area is in roughly the same location that it is right now. The new kitchen will be approximately 25% larger than the old kitchen. We have 2 entry points, one for passing dishes in through and one for passing hot food out through. As well, we've included a pantry space here which can be used for storage of kitchen supplies. The sacristy, which is where the priests will garb, robe and disrobe, and prepare the supplies that they use for the services, is accessible from the hallway, which comes from the main hall, and they don't have to go through the kitchen anymore, which is what they currently have to do. As well, once they're prepared themselves, the people in the sacristy can then enter the church area by coming down this hallway right here. The construction cost estimate is as follows. The new construction, which would basically be the replacement of the existing administrative area, plus the replacement of the portables, which will have to be completely removed. That new construction total will be approximately $745,675. Existing renovations would basically be renovations to everything else that is in place, and that would be the main hall area, as well as the existing choir room, kitchen space, and what have you. That total for the existing renovations would be approximately $484,200. The church, nave, canopy, these things would have to be blended in with our new construction, and the total bill for that effort would be approximately $55,000 for a subtotal of $1,284,875. On top of this subtotal, we would have to add 15% overhead fees. Note that these additions could be done in a phased approach. There will be an additional cost for phasing because getting or obtaining contractors and having them come in and set up and basically perform work again and again results in an increase of about 10 to 15% per phase. Now, if we were to look at the cost, because we do have some urgent things that we have to deal with, in particular the administrative area, construction cost to build the administrative area only is approximately $230,000. Where do we go from here? Well, what we have to do is, once we have obtained approval from the congregation to proceed, we will seek approval in principle from the AGM. That's what we're hoping to achieve at the end of this exercise. Then we will seek permission from the diocese and approach the finance committee, the property committee, and the executive committee in that regard. Then, in tandem with that, we will develop a financial plan, which will include considerations for fundraising, the Anglican Charitable Foundation, how we would get money, obtain money from them, as well as a capital campaign that we would undergo to round out the monies that we would obtain, and then we would build. The motion as put forward to the congregation at the end of in the AGM at the end of this presentation is as follows. I move that the congregation accept in principle the proposed architectural plan, granting the responsibility to vestry and appropriate subcommittees to develop a plan to raise the capital funds necessary for the completion of the church renewal project, and that there be a further meeting with the members of the congregation within the next 2 months. In these meetings that we will have, we will give any additional information that is requested and attempt to disclose and all of the information that we have, and give people an opportunity to digest the material as presented here. Thank you very much, and there will be more information to follow.